was like, play PUBG duos with Shroud, and Doc was like, yeah, I was watching Shroud last night.
Lost his name a little bit.
Yeah, he lost his name a little bit. Like every fucking
just low key.
Yeah, like every popular streamer he decided to make fun of. I think he lost his aim a little bit. I don't know if I want to play with him.
He's doing this new thing where he when he rants, when he's like screaming about the developers or something that happens in the game, he'll like push a little bit of spit out of his mouth and just like rolls down his chin, falls. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast. It's episode 153. This is your host, Trip Zero. We got some news today, as always. Been a pretty chill week with some cool things happening. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2. Some gameplay mechanics have leaked. Bungie has pulled back more of its curtain with a gameplay roadmap, leads all the way up to the next expansion. And the face of Twitch, Dr. Disrespect, has returned, so we can talk about how that went over. Who do I got over here?
This is Felix Good. Hey, Trip Zero.
Hey, Felix Good. Who do I got over here?
You got Locke and Key. What's up, Trip?
Locke and Key. What's up, man? What's up, dudes? Little three-person chat tonight.
No Neo Aoshi.
No Neo Aoshi.
Took the
things
night
have
off.
Come up. Life happens. It's okay.
Just taking a bath.
Miss you, dude.
This is how he's doing. Forgot he had to shower.
He sent a private message to feel like, look, dude, I was can't get his bath. I got a bath bomb in here. Went to Lush. I stocked up. Things are looking real nice. So
I just learned actually this past holiday what a bath bomb is.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't even know what that was.
What did you think it was? You
No,
didn't even know that it existed.
No, I didn't know
universe.
it existed. Like that, you could take this object, drop it in a bath, and turn it into amazing.
Turn it into a what?
Amazing.
Turn plain water into amazing.
I was like into a
yeah.
My brain was like into a what? What's amazing?
Yeah.
What is amazing?
What's amazing?
Have you ever partaken with a bath bomb?
No, but I'm thinking about it.
You're
We
thinking
got
about
a tub here.
You can get 'em.
Might as well.
You might as well try.
You got a tub in your house?
Yeah, it
dope, dude.
no longer has cat shit sitting 2.5 inches from it. So
That's good.
That's important.
That's good
because
to
the
not
bath
be in a
bomb
tub.
would not be amazing if you had to smell cat shit.
No.
yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
It's not something you want in that ball to burst out.
No.
There's glitter in some of them. That wouldn't be good with the cat shit.
Yeah. Ugh. They have glitter? Oh, that's just, I didn't do it. Maybe I did.
You did.
You did.
It came from over here.
Totally did.
Make a noise.
It came from over here.
Felix, what have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
Well, mostly it's the same old, just playing, rotating through a series of games. But today, I was planning to do a Snacks the Cat couch co-op because he had said that he wanted to, but then he told me that he wasn't free anymore. So I basically woke up and I said, "What do I play?" I spent the entire day playing Grand Theft Auto.
I popped in earlier. I saw you.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Thank you.
The whole
Thank you
day.
for that. Well, it started with just going to be my normal day off stream, which is about a 5-hour to 6-hour stream.
Yeah.
You know, I play it by ear. Sometimes I get up at 7 and I'm full of energy and I'm ready to do it.
Play it by ear. That's an Easter egg from
There
last
it
week's
is.
episode.
Easter egg from
That's
last
good.
week.
Go back to 152. You'll know what we're talking about.
Evidently,
That was the perfect use of that phrase, by the way. Congratulations.
Yes. And what I mean by that is I'll wake up and if I have the energy, I'll play. I'll start sooner and then I'll end shorter. But today I woke up and I didn't start until 8:15 after I did all my troubleshooting to get the stream up and running.
Troubleshooting. What happened?
So it's just I like to test audio and text.
Sure.
When you're using Restream, it's complicated. You're bringing multiple elements in.
Yeah.
And you got to test the chat to make sure chat is working on all three. And then it's complicated. So after I got all said and done, here I am. My normal amount of time has passed. It's 2:30 in the afternoon and I still want to keep playing. And I was just I looked at the clock and I'm like, guys, I got to wrap this up. This is crazy. I really got lost in both the new content and revisiting all of the old features of GTA Online.
Right.
Because I started that from the very beginning. Back in 2013, I started it in September of that year on the PS3.
Right.
and then subsequently after that, completed the game on PS3, and then subsequently after that, ended up going through and buying it for the PS4. And I hadn't gone in and seen some of the new features. I had briefly touched in on how to make a business, that type of stuff. And today I had a couple of lucky servers where I was able to, because none of that business creation stuff can be played without other people. You can only use public servers. You cannot use private servers to accomplish that stuff. But it is a feature that I said from minute one I wanted in GTA Online. I said, wouldn't it be cool if you could make and manage a business in some form in the world like you do in the GTA 5 storyline with Trevor and Michael and all of those characters. So it's neat. They did bring in various types of businesses. There's a VIP service where you protect other players, and players act as bodyguards to other players.
That's kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, I don't even know how any of that works. But there's a car thing where you create a business where you steal cars and import export.
It sounds like they're really doubling down on like the role playing aspect of it.
I was almost gonna make a joke like you get tired of
I made it today.
You get tired of your job when you come home to play your other job, protecting a guy on the video game.
Very meta.
Yeah,
I made that joke today. I said, "Wow, this is as complicated as any. I might have to call this a role playing game." I know that's a conversation we had earlier. I'm not rehashing that, but like the point is,
a deep Twitter conversation about the RPGs.
Yeah, there were so many menus in this today that I had forgotten about, and I was going in and messing with like weird camera angle choices. Like you can play in third person and first person. So like I was trying to set it so that like,
dude, I remember when that came out on the PS4, and I game flied it to play it. And I used the first person mode. That shit was fucking crazy. Cause like I got like fucking just trashed by a car. I was on a motorcycle.
Yeah, you have a lot of blind spots.
And it keeps first person mode while you're like tumbling and dying.
Oh yeah.
It was
okay,
very
so
fucking
they add a
crazy.
thing that allows you to not it doesn't force you to set cameras when you switch between vehicle and foot.
Yeah.
So you can have independent set cameras.
Like third person vehicle, first person on
exactly. So how I choose to play online is actually first person when I'm on foot shooting. I'm an FPS standard. They call it standard FPS 2 is the control sequence, where my run button is actually the right bumper, top bumper.
I hate that.
That sucks.
No, I like it. It hurts my thumb after a while to be running with the thumbstick. I got used to it in a couple other games. A couple games have this, but it's called standard FPS 2. So I do that, and then when I get in cars, it's impossible. You cannot play against other players with first person driving because like
you're limited.
Well, especially when you're doing the specific not heist, but like the new business game mode, because you have to race. You have to do two things. You have to fill up the supplies to make your product, what that product may be, could weed, coke, whatever it is.
Right.
And then you have to, once the product is made, you have stock, and then stock needs to be sold. So the two types of missions are running to get the supplies or running to sell the supplies or sell the weed once you get it.
Sure.
And the worst part about it is they have like a 20-second countdown before it's called global recognition or global something. It's like after 20 seconds, everyone knows you're there.
Right.
And they can see you on the fucking map, and you're
that's all I would do if I played that game is fuck other people's days.
Dude, it's just, it's
You're
horrible.
the one he hates playing against, and
I'm the griefer.
But
so
here's the thing,
funny.
he wouldn't. He wants to, but he wouldn't because he's also really cheap. And the people who are grieving are people who paid for the shark cards. They bought the most expensive
They got like a fucking jet or something, and they're just
so
launching missiles up your ass.
You're not that type of. You'd be the type of person to want to do it,
But I don't need to have a jet to be able to do that.
You do.
Why?
Because the minute the countdown goes off and everyone knows you're there, the only thing that comes out are jets. Everybody comes, and now there's like a new motor. I got killed by a motorcycle that flies, dude, and fires rockets. What the hell just killed me? Dude in the chat goes, yeah, you got killed by that new motorcycle that flies and fires rockets. I'm like, what? And then I look at the price of it or whatever. I don't know if it's something that you can buy or something you earn, but somebody was like, yeah, it's like $3 million. Like, I don't have that money. I was running a weed business trying to make $3K today. $300K, sorry.
Right.
Dude, I saw you walking around your facility, and I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, it's great. It's flourishing.
It looks like remember in Pineapple
sell
Express,
anything,
they
but-
got that little underground bunker with all their shit
Right,
going on.
right.
Yeah.
No, I did. The final thing I did today, I must have been in a peaceful server, and this is all I'll say, and then we'll move on. But like the final thing I did today was amazing, but I lucked out. I had $69,000 to distribute after my weed built up, right? And the way the mission worked is you have to run to this local airport near your weed place and fly 2 helicopters. Now, normally it's done with you and at least one other person.
Right.
And you have to drop off 5 from each helicopter. You fly over these buildings with red smoke coming out of them off the top. And you have to just drop. All you have to do is hit right on the D-pad when you fly over. But, dude, I had to fly 5 out over enemy territory where all these players are like killing each other.
Enemy territory.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we say that, we're just talking about downtown Los Santos. That's where all the people congregate.
Yeah.
So I cruised down. I dropped the 5 off. No one even went after me. And then I cruised down and I dropped off the other 5 and I was good to go. And then I went in to do a resupply mission, and that's when I got trolled and I got pissed and quit.
Sounds about normal.
Dude, and this guy waited. This guy waited with the rocket motorcycle.
Yeah.
He waited until I had driven a van, like a slow beater van, from one side of the map all the way to the other side where my weed place was.
You know, he's thinking, he's like, I'm going to just fuck this guy's
Exactly. He killed me 2 feet from the door of the weed place.
That's kind of funny.
It's horrible.
Hilarious.
You can watch the VOD. It's up there. Look for my Grand Theft Auto session. I'm done.
I might, dude.
I have a question, and I think we should just hit Red Dead because it's kind of on topic since you're talking about GTA Online, and we're gonna hit the other news points later. Is there a feature in GTA Online right now that you would like to either see them evolve or get rid of completely? That like you hope you don't see in Red Dead's online space. Now we have some things we're going to talk about.
That's a good question. Something
But is
that
there
you hope
something-
doesn't exist in there. Yeah.
Is there something that you're like, this is not what they probably intended and it's being exploited, so maybe we can evolve it, or fuck this, let's scrap it, and I hope I don't see this moved over to the GTA Online or Red Dead 2 online
People
universe.
being mean to me?
And not
No,
that,
that's not it.
Don't bring
No.
that over.
because that will exist.
No,
always.
because I had a great time in Red Dead, the original Red Dead Online. You know, me and Locke played the original.
Yeah, what was
Red
that?
Dead
What
Online.
was that like? What'd you guys do?
Oh God, so good. It was so good. I mean, you essentially like we just rode around on horseback.
Worlded it up, kind of.
Essentially,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally
Westworlded it
Westworld.
up before Westworld was a thing. I mean, we got into some gunfights just because we did some missions. I mean, it really was the precursor to GTA 5 Online.
Yeah.
I mean, in every way, you could walk seamlessly in and out of towns, and you can start missions. You could just
there
kill
were
other people if you
location-based.
wanted to. It
There
was
were
location.
Seems
location-based
like
stuff.
for when it came out, that would have been just an incredible online experience.
Oh yeah, it was definitely ahead of its
Like
time.
the one
for
town,
sure.
the main town in the center of the map, Armadillo, had a saloon, and when you go into the saloon, there was this thing called like raise the flag or something, and the minute you raise the flag, in comes all the marshals to try and kill you, and you just have to defend the position. But all the players on the map can see you.
Right.
And they all start flocking too. So now it's not you just battling marshals; it's you battling marshals and the players.
Sure.
So it gets kind of nuts, and that's GTA has that kind of stuff. So to answer your question,
And you don't have to answer it right now. I brought it up because now GTA Online is now again fresh in your
like
mind.
there's so many different features I don't use because I don't care about them. You know, like for instance, like last man standing is something I never do. And adversary mode, I never do. Adversary mode is something where you intentionally are going up against somebody you know or somebody you don't know. You're intentionally trying to essentially think of playing chicken in 2 cars, except with elaborate crazy. Like one adversary mode is you drive one person is in a giant truck,
right.
and the other person is in a motorcycle, and you have to try and one of them has to win. And you start, the guy on the left starts in a truck and the other one starts in a motorcycle. Like that's one adversary mode, and there's a bunch of other ridiculous ones. So I don't ever play that.
All right, so let's go off of things that you do right now in GTA Online. Give me something that could be better. Shit, I'll take something that you hope you see in Red Dead Online.
I hope I wish that the online business building aspect could be played with AI.
And not have to be played on
like
a public
hire
server.
NPCs to do the work for you.
Yeah, like I was imagining ways that you could make it harder and not have to play with other players, and still, so that people couldn't. I know why they do it that way, so people can't like farm it.
Yeah.
Basically farm it when they're playing in a private server.
But they could like really flesh that system out. Imagine if you had a bunch of NPCs that could do work for you, right? But like you would need to train them to be better. And then like if someone was just new, the RNG would just make them get caught more than someone who is trained and more reliable. Like you could spend time on your business, make it more safer, make it work better for you. That could be a cool
Thank God
mechanic.
players aren't allowed to come in and destroy everything I've built so far.
Right.
Like that, the good news is they can't blow up the building where my business is and permanently eradicate everything I've done up until this point. But like, it's really hard. It boils this game mode down to one thing, racing a clock and hoping with luck that no one else is there to kill you.
Sure.
You're constantly trying to avoid bandits, and there's no way to like strategize it. Just run as fast as you can. But, and I wish the deathmatch aspect of the game was like more baked into the world.
So it didn't feel like so like
whenever you do a death
jarring or separated. It was like
whenever you
built
do a
in.
death match, I mean, you have these one-on-one
It loads in
things.
somewhere separately and just have its own standalone event.
Oh, hands down, forget everything. The thing that this game needs to improve upon is matchmaking. The game doesn't matchmake well. I mean, there's tons of players still playing that game. And when you load up, like if you were to make your own created death match, no one comes in.
I think that's anything. Community created content is always going to have less of a popularity than compared to first party content. Like my only example to really go off of that is like Forge and Halo 3.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't looking for people's Forge maps to play.
Oh, okay, got it.
I'm sure there was great stuff out there, but like why?
In a time investment, how much of time are you going to waste finding shitty maps and bailing on them? And
Right, now
enjoying
there
your time
were
playing them?
Right, it's true. There were things that I did find, but like those things fell on my lap.
It
versus,
also got to the point in GTA Online where some of the created maps were clearly made to like exploit or clearly made on purpose to be incredibly ridiculous.
Sure.
So
Well, let's hit what we do. What we believe we know right now. So this is one of the news points that we wanted to talk about, and I think we might as well just get to it instead of circle back around later. So some leaks came out around mechanics for both single player and online. Now it's not, it's definitely some good detail. It's not everything, but it mentions that the single player world will offer complete freedom in exploring an open world, which includes Armadillo and Ridgewood. Cities will have more NPCs. There's going to be a slum market where equipment is sold at reduced prices. You'll be able to use trains to travel from certain parts of the map, which the trains will be populated with more NPCs and will act as mini cities with unique characters and dialogue. There will be other vehicles included in the game, like horse-drawn carriages. That's obvious. Mine carts and hand carts, with each coming in different variants that favor speed over armor or vice versa. Some of the side activities include playing poker, horsemanship challenges that increase your rider rank, and a deep fishing system with different baits and fish types. Red Dead Redemption 2 will feature a crafting system where you use plants and other herbs to create various concoctions. First-person mode will be making its way to both single-player and multiplayer, and the Deadeye feature will also be returning. So that's all for single player, besides stating that the story will branch out in different ways depending on your actions and the characters you interact with. And this will also affect the dialogue and even mission objectives that you're given depending on who you talk to. One interesting mechanic mentioned is the ability to extract information from wounded enemies in exchange for sparing their life. Which sounds pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then it gets to the online side of things. So the article is separated into single player versus online. The rumor has a decent chunk of information about the online mode in Red Dead 2. Like GTA Online, the same open world will be available to explore in multiplayer, but the details mention a deeper, more reactive world than currently what's available on GTA Online. The example talks about NPCs will do certain things in the day versus at night. Storefronts will act different during the day than at night, so the world kind of
Day and night
evolves.
cycles.
Yeah, if you think about that I'm assuming GTA Online, the city evolves between daytime and nighttime, but it seems like they're going to be focusing more on how NPCs in the world behaves in cycles.
Yeah.
Let's see. So your home base, like your home, is actually a tent. It seems like you form tents, which can be bought and upgraded. The playlist format, which is going to be returning, which is currently in GTA Online, mentions 3 current modes: Revive and Survive, which is their deathmatch, where 2 teams go against one another, and you can revive fallen teammates, but you have a limited window to do so. Money Grab, which is returning from Red Dead 1, Red Dead 1, excuse me.
It's called Grab the Bag. That's what it used to be called.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Money Grab tasks players with securing bags of cash and returning them to a base as quickly as possible, which was very similar.
Grab the bag.
And then
That's
finally,
what the guy would
which this has no information on, but the data mine shows that it exists, is a Battle Royale mode.
That's the thing, dude.
And I was saying before the show started, it would be neat if everyone came in on hot air balloons.
Yeah,
I mean,
flying over the map.
I mean, Fortnite is a hot air balloon, but it's a bus tied to a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
So, finally, the memo stated that Red Dead Redemption 2 will launch alongside a companion app that includes social elements and a poker mini game built into the app.
The iFruit one was terrible. Like, it didn't do much.
Right.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And no news still on the PC launch, but it is rumored that it will come later on, just like GTA Online on the PC did once the console was launched. So I mean, this is a ton of information to kind of. But these are all things that I think we expected. Like, we expected it to evolve past GTA Online. Like the fact that people are still playing GTA 5. Shit, episode 129, you have GTA 5 written on the whiteboard. That's the last time we used the whiteboard. But so even
this before we started, like, oh fuck.
Yeah, so even
Felix
for us,
gets a Switch.
Yeah, like even for us, we were talking about it. So like the reason why people keep playing it is because of the sandbox. Like, there's always something to do, and if they're continuously adding content and you're able to role play to the extent where you go and you live another life and another job, right? People do that on other games like Arma 3 mods.
I mean, you don't
like,
even know. They might be taking cues from what they see people doing with GTA RP.
Dude, what I was about to say right now is what an incredible like research tool they have. They've got all of these years of just people fucking around doing whatever they want to do in an online space, and they take that and they go, what's working well, what gets the most traction, what responds, what makes players respond really well, and let's make those events, let's make those part of the world.
Sure.
And it's the most engaging thing you could possibly do.
Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you can try. We'll see if we answer it.
I mean, both of you are not. I mean, you've been fans in the past of GTA and you've been fans in the past of Red Dead, but you're not active players of those games that I can see currently.
Right.
Is that because we're just not in a period of time when you guys are interested in that, or?
I mean, for me personally, I would love to play the story of GTA 5. I think.
Yeah.
I think I would. I don't think I would be.
And you never did.
No, I mean, so I tried to on the PS3 that I bought from you, but it sounded like it was going to fucking launch into space like the new Falcon rocket.
That put the nail in the
SpaceX.
coffin of mine.
Yeah, I turned it on and it tried to load the initial like tutorial, and the PS3 sounded like it was going to fucking launch. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. I think I GameFlyed it as well, or maybe I borrowed your copy or something. But so maybe one day, like maybe I'll buy it on PC one day and play through the story. I have no real reason to mess around in the sandbox, but also there's so much stuff out now that like it's just like Red Dead. I definitely want to play Red Dead 2. Like I enjoyed my experience in Red Dead, and I didn't even complete the original Red Dead. Like I never saw that through because I came way later. I mean, you had already beaten the game and beaten the DLC and moved on to other things, and were like, "Hey, man, pick this up and let's play it online together." So my experience with Red Dead was solely the online element. I think I barely played the story. I played more of the Undead Nightmare DLC than the actual main game. But
it's not surprising that it has crafting. The original Red Dead had a lot of crafting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You'd find like flowers and you would combine them to make.
And that makes sense for the setting and the world, right? Like the time period, the setting, like crafting would make more sense. Like crafting in GTA would be stupid. You just buy everything in
Right.
GTA.
Mrs. Felix. was
Craft a cell phone.
Right. What are you going to do?
like,
Right.
Mrs. Felix, I mentioned Red Dead 2 was coming out, and Mrs. Felix goes, "Oh my God, are you gonna like hunt and kill and skin animals for 15 hours?" I was
Maybe.
like,
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe.
From my perspective, it's a game always has to hit the perfect storm for me to want to sink a lot of time into it. And I don't know if I can even define that for myself because that changes over time. It changes with what's about, what's available, how the game itself is doing. Like, I don't know why Destiny has always hooked me the way that it has, but that's a game that I pour a lot of time.
It's a space
I mean, I do love space, but like Elite Dangerous is a much more realistic, arguably space game, right? Flight sim, and I can only play Elite Dangerous for like 10 minutes. Like, it's pretty. But I always forget the fucking flight controls because it's like 17 million things to do, and you just fly around, and it's real space size. So you got to sit like fucking. You can warp, but like sit for 30 minutes, just like watching stars go by. Oh, I guess I'm almost to that planet now. Like it's like there's something to be said for not full realism in making a game and an experience enjoyable. You know.
No.
So I don't know. It's GTA was fun, but online it was too random, kind of. I didn't want to put in work to create something in there that could be so easily taken away. I guess could also factor into it at the time. Right?
You know what I would desire about GTA?
What?
Like if GTA moved on to a new version or whatever.
Like GTA 6?
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, having to keep track of gas in your car.
Huh. You care about that?
I don't know why.
You want to stop and fill it up?
I'm used to. I mean, you have to keep.
I want to have to like fill up gas.
You have to pick up gas cans in PUBG because you run out of gas.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, now, I understand that. I mean, it just adds to the realism.
Yeah,
like
it
if you're going to make this online world feel real, like you have real elements, and then you have the people that are doing backflips across whole cities, right? Like there's the exaggerated side of things.
Motorcycles flying and
right.
firing
People
rockets.
jumping out and like skydiving through donut holes from like donut shops, like people that have jumped out of airplanes and made their way and done like skydiving tricks. Like there's the exaggerated, but then you can really go into, like you said, like role playing, like actual role playing and making this world feel real. That would add to that type of thing. And it's the same way with Red Dead. Does your horse get tired? Do you have to feed your horse? Do you have to have your horse stop and drink?
Right. Your horse dying of starvation or
Sure.
dehydration or something. Or dehydration on yourself. Like all that. Like a hardcore mode that had that.
I could dig that. I think I also don't play GTA online or other online games like that because they're PvP heavy just as part of their whole existence. And I don't always want to do that.
Oh, yeah. You get the trolls.
I just want to maybe shoot some aliens. Or like the other game I spent millions of hours on was Final Fantasy 11. I know you know that very well, Locke. Like that's just, there are people there. There's a social element. There's an economy created by what people do in the game. But like your main focus is like, who am I hunting? What monster am I going after? Did I get that drop? Can I pick up the armor that I need? Can I get to this level to maybe do this dungeon? It's very like PvE task focused with friends. One of the craziest moments in that game was like, I made a solo run from Sandoria. We're going to throw out some really nerdy names here. From Sandoria.
Wait, sorry, I lost track of what you're even talking
about. The point
about.
of this,
Final Fantasy 11.
Point of this, calm down. Point of this is that I made my way from like a starting city all the way to like a hub city where all the cities connect at a very low level with like invisibility potions because I really wanted to like see a thing or I read something online that like this had some cool armor and I just had this fucking adventure one night where I got like invisibility potions and like snuck around giant monsters and made my way there and like that was rewarding to me, right? Like being somewhere where I shouldn't, but I made it there. I conquered that event,
Yeah.
But no one flew over my head in a jet and fired a missile up my ass, so I had a great time.
Yeah, it sucks when that happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess more to come on Red Dead as it got pushed back to
More to
October.
come.
So I'm sure there will be plenty of leaks and more trailers and things that we can expect to see over the next few months.
I know we went out of order, but did you guys want to talk about what a game or two that you've been playing?
Yeah,
or
no,
whatever?
I think so. I mean, I'll hit it for a few minutes. The one thing is we didn't talk about Final Fantasy 11.
No, not your thing that you found.
Yeah, so there's one game that I've been playing that I want to talk about. I did want to mention that since you brought it up. I mentioned this to Trip at the job off air. is there's a private Final Fantasy XI server. So Final Fantasy XI is still an MMO that exists. However, there's been a community-run server that allows you to play for free, but it's the base game that came out ages ago. And you can play it for free. So I downloaded the client, I installed it, and I started running around Sandoria, which is the base town that you can start at. Now, I haven't done much more than that, but I downloaded the client, and I think I'm going to try and dive into it because it has an active player base. Very small, but it has an active player base of about anywhere from about 150 people to upwards of 1,000 people, depending on.
Dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just download the client, and you create an ID, and it just works, man.
Maybe I can finally get the rabbit charm from Jagged Ear Jack.
Maybe you can get in those woods and find him and kill him.
I never got it, dude.
I never got the rabbit charm either.
This thing dropped from a. There were monsters that would spawn.
No, I was just going to say there's so many. Go ahead.
I'm going to explain. You're going to probably ask me to explain. I'm going to explain it. There's all these monsters, right? And some of them pop up that are stronger than others. Notorious monsters, right? Fallout has those. There's the skull near the names and shit.
Yeah.
But they would drop really rare things. And this one rabbit charm gave your character like plus 2 or 3 luck, which on its own is an incredible thing to have to start the game. But it would sell for like millions of gil on the in-game the character-based auction house. So like,
and it spawned in the main, like in the first town. So it wasn't like a crazy hard monster to kill, but everyone would camp it.
Yeah,
and it would spawn like once every 2 hours or once every 3 hours, or so once it pops, if you're not the one that invokes it, right? Like if you don't hit it first or you don't cast a spell on it first,
you can't fight it.
You can't fight it. So you can spend 2 to 3 hours camping this monster, and me and Trip could be side by side, and he gets to cast the spell first, and I just wasted 2 or 3 hours of camping this monster.
Wow.
But now on top of that, he could also kill it, and the drop rate on that particular item was like 1% chance of drop or something.
Sure.
Yeah, so it like...
But you get it, dude, and like a high-level player buys this because he needs the luck for some stat bump, and then you're like a level 5 player who has 1 million gil in their pocket now. Like,
you can do whatever
it's
you
like
want
hitting the
with
lottery.
Wow.
Yeah, so like that has a very in-depth... and that's a game that I would agree with you. Besides Destiny, like I put so much time into that game in high school. So much time into that game.
The question I was going to ask is, I just, because there's so many of them, what console was this for?
This was a PC game, but it came out on PS2 and later ported to Xbox 360.
Got it.
I bought for one of those Christmases. I saved up because I was working a job, and I really wanted my brother to play. I bought him the hard drive expansion for the PS2.
Yeah.
You slid this big fucking 3.5-inch hard drive in the back of your PS2, and it had an Ethernet port for a cable, and you hardwired that shit, and you used the keyboard, and he was in the porch playing on PS2, and we were on the same server. I was on the computer, and we were rolling together. This is like 2000.
Oh, this is so...
7,
yeah,
8,
my buddy...
like
my buddy...
6 or 7.
6 or 7, somewhere.
Yeah.
I was... No, it might have been earlier than that. It could have been like 05.
It was
because
I
was
still
still
I graduated 06.
I graduated fuck, I have no idea what year. 07? I graduated 07.
Okay. Yep.
So 05 makes about sense. Yeah. So I had a buddy that lived at EB Games at the time.
Oh yeah.
Lived at EB Games while this was all coming out, because
that was a thing in 2007.
What?
2005 EB Games. GameStop hadn't bought EB Games yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we didn't have a GameStop. We had an EB Games, and he would live there while this, because he was so pumped for it, and he put. I didn't see this dude ever. He just laid in bed with his keyboard on his PS2 playing. But he lived there, and yeah, it was this whole thing. It was the same era as SOCOM Online before PlayStation built their online network. And you bought this whole kit. You got the disc, you got the hard drive, the adapter.
Because you had to connect your Play Online, download the game to the hard drive because there's so much more space needed than the regular PS2.
Yeah,
obviously.
and it ran like a fucking hot pile of garbage, like a toaster oven. You know,
fucking cool to have that.
And it had the monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Right. So the cool thing about this is like you could still play Final Fantasy XI online. Servers are still running. There's ass loads of content at this point, but you have to pay for the online service. So this is a private server where it's just realistically the base game and I think like the first expansion before they kind of reworked a lot of the characters and things like that.
So it's almost like a look what they did with WoW. They set up like
a vanilla
server. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to dive into it and kind of dick around. I mean, like, It looks like shit. It's a game from '05. Like, it only plays in windowed mode. You can't resize the window. Like, so there's certain limitations, but
dude, like, I'm thinking,
yeah,
I'm getting the kind of like happy thinking about if I like go to the Valkyrie Dunes again. Like, how cool would that be?
I remember so many times, like, I made so many characters on that game that, like, I am so familiar with the Valkyrie Dunes and, like, the first 3 levels of the areas that you used to go to.
Felix, there were, like, you learned from your groups and from your crowds and your people, like, where the good spot was to get to your next big level cap, or like where to level up to get the next hump. And like everyone would go to the beach, go to the dunes, fight some fish in
like
the water.
Each area was a level cap essentially. Like you can level at this area from level 6 to 12, and then at 12 you're not really gaining any XP, and at 6 it was really hard for you, but you would get a ton of XP, and then you move on to the next area, and that brackets from 13 to 18, and then you keep going until you reach a level 100. Mm-hmm. And then you party up.
You can run anywhere. You'll just get fucked if you're in an area where the monsters are too hard.
But we'll see if I can dive into it. I really don't have the time for it, but it'll be cool to just mess around with it. But the game that I bought and started playing last night actually and put about 2 to 3 hours into is Bastion, which is absolutely incredible. I bought it on Steam for like $3. It was 80% off.
I haven't ever played that one, but I played a little bit of Transistor. They're made by the same developer.
Yeah, so Transistor came out after Bastion, and then that developer has now since come out with the game Pyre, which is also really well received.
Snacks, the cat, he speaks highly of Pyre.
Yeah, and I talked to him about Bastion for a while. So incredible.
And the music's great too.
Music is phenomenal. The world design is great, but the cool part is the narrator. So there's a narrator for your character as you're playing, and depending on what's happening is he's narrating everything. So if you fall off the map, because the world's dynamic where it's kind of like it's not platforming, but like you can roll off the side of the map, right? So if you roll off, he'll make some joke about you being clumsy or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you hack and slash and destroy the world, he'll be like, you're always called the kid, so he'll be like the kid's in a fit of rage. He has this he has like this deep voice. If you just like go and destroy everything.
British?
No, not British. I'll have you listen to it, but it's just like this deep, really unique voice. That sounds really cool.
Like a Stanley Parable type vibe. If you ever watched or know that game.
Yeah.
Where the guy narrates your actions and makes you feel like you're like
stranger than
talking about me,
right?
Like Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
And if you're standing around, he's like, and the kid's taking a break or something like that. And then like if you destroy a bunch of monsters, like it's constantly narrating. And he has a really cool voice. And then you mention and you layer in the music, and the world looks really beautiful and it's super colorful. And the combat system is great. I'm playing it on or on controller. I'm not doing keyboard mouse. Very basic. You have an attack, a strong attack for your melee weapon, and you have a attack for a ranged weapon. You have potions to heal. You pick them up as you kill things. It has an XP bar you unlock, so it has some RPG elements. But highly recommend it if you find it on a Steam sale or you find it on like a PlayStation sale. I think Snacks played Bastion first on PS4.
I've seen it in the store.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I know Trip, you'd probably be a big fan of it. I don't know, Felix, if you could get into it, you'd have to take a look at it and see. You probably could. But it's been pretty great. So I'm excited to dive back into it. I ended up not playing it as much as I originally planned on it last night because Neo hopped in my Discord as I was playing and asked me if I wanted to play PUBG. So I ended up flipping over to PUBG and playing more PUBG. I fucking can't, man. It's like crack, dude. I can't stop.
Did you get a chicken dinner?
Yeah. I can't stop. Listen, I could lose 35 games and one chicken dinner. Like,
how many chicken
brings
dinners?
Me back to it.
Yeah. Does it keep count of your
You can go
dinners?
in and look at, so you play by server type. So you play a North American server, and then you have first person, singles, duos, squads. That's all 3 separate leaderboards. And then you have third person, singles, duos, squads. So I've had chicken dinners in probably each area. I don't know how many in total. Not as much as Xbox. Not at all, because it's way harder to win on PC.
Yeah.
But
dudes are good.
Yeah, and also like you there's a lot of your shot is one thing, which is what I like it because the FPS mechanics are pretty great. But like a lot of it is out of your control, like what you've picked up, what you've looted, where the circle goes, like what power positions people may have just because they got lucky with the circle. So some things are just really out of your control, but it's still a fantastic mechanic.
That's why there's so much replayability.
Yeah, I'll always be like, all right, one more.
Yeah.
One more.
Maybe it'll be different. Maybe I'll get that thing. Maybe we'll land right in the center and can just post up.
Like last night, so we're playing a game. So I've been playing a lot with the Kinda Funny community. So Neo's done a really good job of integrating me with a lot of his friends in the Kinda Funny Discord community.
Oh, cool.
So there's Iron Storm, Quail. We played with a dude Z Frank last night, and a bunch of other people. But we're playing a 3-man squad, and we get to this town, and it's like it's in the bottom of the circle, and we're like, okay, let's get to the center of the circle and loot another town. Well, the town that we were in ended up being the center of the new circle, and then the center of the next circle, and then the center of the next circle, and we were like, fuck, we left this town and we left this great building that we could have been camping to go get more
and
loot.
It was there.
We ended up getting second place on that game, but yeah, it can be painstakingly annoying and frustrating, and but it could also be like adrenaline pumping. Like the last game that I won a 1v4, and my heart literally was fucking jumping out of its chest. Like I couldn't even. It was crazy. And then after that, I was like fucking snorting the victory.
Yeah,
and I was like,
hell yeah, dude.
Want more.
I'd have to put a game like that down for months. I put down Bloodborne.
You put it
for that reason.
For what reason?
Because I had
too
I
much.
had a gameplay session where I was just my stress levels were for being almost a 40-year-old man.
Can't do
not
it.
Good.
Was it the one that you last streamed where you beat that monster?
Yeah, I did beat him.
You did beat him. I know that's the last session you've had.
Nah, I had another one after that. The crack. The crack
thing.
It's
Yeah,
like
you go
crack.
back,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I know, dude.
Yeah, because Bloodborne is it's the same idea. It's like it's the ultimate challenge to play a game like that.
It is, and it's super rewarding when it works out.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work out, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, like the last session I ended the session going, like why do people do this to themselves? Like why like I'm like my life like isn't the greatest life and isn't very rewarding. So why would I play a game? I'm like, why would I play a game where I'm not getting rewards? This doesn't make any sense. And I like ended the session.
Yeah, like never again until you get the
No,
again.
I just meant I told him like it's going to be a couple weeks before I play this again. So.
Yeah, what I've decided, and we can get to Trip right after this. I will only play that game now if there's other people. Like I'm not doing it single player because that like I can't handle. I can't handle it. Like
it's levels stress.
The where I have fun is like working together with like in duos. I find duos to be the most fun in that game is two people.
4 can get out of hand whenever we're trying to do their own thing.
4 is so fucking aggressive, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's too much. But
and I'm only speaking from like Fortnite experience.
it's the same thing.
But
It's the same thing in
similar
Fortnite.
vibe,
Yeah, like you play this team that's like super trying hard. They're like top of the ladder, like in kills and shit, and it's just like that's all they're trying to do. Like all like the professional people. Like I watch a guy. His name's TSM Vis. Someone that Doc, which Doc will talk about in a little bit, mentions a lot. Like he's sweaty as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
He wins so many games, but all he does is play squads. And him and his like if I played him and his team, forget it. So duos is where I normally lie. But what I've committed to is if no one is playing a game, then I will play one of my single player games and I won't touch PUBG. But if someone hops in and is like trying to run duos, I can't say no. Not yet. I can't do it. I want to. I just fucking can't.
Still in on it.
So yeah, more to come with Bastion as I continue to play it. So where you at, Trip?
I'm doing some Destiny every week.
We talked about this.
I don't know why I'm doing it.
Is that
dude.
what you want to
It's
talk
fun.
about?
Do I want to talk about it? No, you guys know what the fuck
We
Destiny is.
said before this we're gonna mention one game and we give Trip a game and the one game he picks is Destiny.
I didn't pick it.
You didn't pick it.
He just said he
I'm
was
just saying
playing
what I was-
Destiny
I
a
don't need
little
to go
bit.
into an in-depth
You're not
hash
going
of,
into it.
of what happened.
You're not going to.
Yeah. Me and Oates played one level though. That was pretty fun. I haven't played this game that I'm going to mention next, but I invested in it.
Oh, I know what you're about to talk about.
I put money down into this game, and what I have might be all we ever have. Who knows? We haven't. It's been a gray area for years, but you ready for this, Felix?
Yeah.
I've already. I told Locke this in passing. Star Citizen is real.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Is real apparently.
Did it come out?
No, but they've unified all of their little test modules into a playable alpha,
Oh,
and you can hop in.
and you got it.
I got it.
Mm.
I paid money to the.
I paid money to them.
Are they still like the biggest Kickstarter video game?
I
for
think they
or
have
something
to
like that?
be.
How much did
number
the
one.
playable alpha cost you?
They break everything down into their chunks still, like their monetary chunks, right? It already sounds like bullshit. I know. It sounds like I'm fucking like selling you guys like a pyramid scheme. No, you just get in at this cost, then you can add in this cost. So it's $45 to pick one of two ships right off the bat. And then are you? What was that? Like I'm thinking about it.
No, $45 just to get a fucking ship.
Yeah.
Your ship is everything.
Okay, good.
It comes with 3 months of insurance too, so if I crash it early on, I can get it back. And that comes with like the hangar module where you can like visit your ship and like look at the social spaces and land on planets and things like that. There's a first person mode, like a PvP mode essentially. That's $15. So I'm in it for 60 at this point. It's like I bought a game.
Oh, you
Right.
did pay the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are all separate modules before. They were like, oh, if you invested in the Kickstarter, you can like walk around the hangar and check out your ship. You can't fly it, but you could sit in it. You know, just like look at what we've been doing, right?
Can't
That's where
fly
they were
in your
before.
ship, but you can sit in it.
Yeah. But now, dude, I stumbled upon this because I went on Twitch and I just like started poking around for games to watch because no one was on. There were some Hearthstone players, but I didn't really feel like watching that. And I was like, let me just type in Star Citizen. 2 days before I searched this, the alpha came out and was updated. So this dude is like flying in space, going from space to planet, landing on the planet. Him and his bud were like, they found a wreck there, but they weren't sure if someone was in it or if someone was like looting another wreck. So like he had his friend land the ship in a place where if he stayed there, he could still see the door with the ship's like blasters. And he waited in the ship while his friend like went up, opened the door, dipped to the left real quick to make sure it wasn't like a trap. Like this could have the potential to be like a really crazy exploration game where people
Sounds
make
good.
their own marks and then you kind of like discover that world, right? Like what if I came to a planet and there's like a whole story there because some other crew had an adventure a week ago and there's just like shit blasted left over, you know, there's some extra loot they missed.
Sounds
Oh,
like
just
what,
like-
sounds like what No Man's Sky wanted to be.
It's like what No Man's Sky should be. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, I got it all installed and I'm just waiting for a moment to play it. I was gonna stream, I think, the beginning of this, the
That
discovery
would be cool. I
of-
would like to see it.
of what it's like because
Yeah.
I have no idea truly what it's like. This guy that I was watching had been playing for a while, so he was pretty involved in the systems, and was like flying around very competently.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of stumble and figure out what the barriers are. Like how far can I go?
Now, your price of entry, has that netted you a full copy of the game when it comes out?
Yes.
It
Yeah,
has.
yeah. All the dialogue says you have the game. You have access to the game. Some people have already paid more.
I'm sure.
Like you can at this point you can buy individual ships. Like some ships are like fucking like yacht size ships if we're comparing these to people size, right?
Right.
I would say mine is like a car, kind of like a personal. Like it's got some space.
Right, it's
for
like
cargo.
an X-wing.
Yeah. What I do appreciate about what this company is doing is they're building the world
Right.
about this game. Their communication about this game, outside of you watching a developer video, because they have those too, where you can watch somebody build the planet and with their unique servers. They're running everything off of an Amazon cloud server. It's
Right.
wild.
Is it procedurally generated?
Procedurally created and then like user touched up and
Edited and-
edited.
So it's
stuff
not a
like
big
that.
sandbox.
It is.
It's the biggest sandbox that will probably ever be made.
Yeah.
Once it's done.
Huh?
Like they might put one base on a planet, but then the planet is just allowed to create itself. Kind
And
of.
do what it. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, everything about the world in this game is done as if you're a citizen of whatever it is, like 2549 or something.
Right.
So like you can go on the website and I watched every one of these little commercials for all the different ships and they're done like
like you're
car commercials. Yeah,
buying
like
right.
this one is like a family ship, and like they do a weirdly good job at making it feel like you're watching a comfortable type of commercial, but then you realize, oh, this is some future shit right here.
Right.
Will things be like this? Like, who knows? Maybe I was having those thoughts while I was watching it. So I'm like,
right.
From a storytelling or lore perspective, they could do a good job with this.
Now, from your research, what like they still don't have a target for release.
Oh,
I
don't. Nothing that I could find had like hey, we'll be finished at this point. You know,
right.
I think it's just gonna kind of exist like this until
for a while.
There's enough for people to consider it
right.
a game. You know?
Well, I mean, the fact that they now have their first alpha is saying something, because before these modules were like independent, mini games essentially.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The fact that it now exists as an alpha is
like, we talked about this. What, our first year of podcasting? We were already joking that it would never exist.
Yeah, I mean, that's when we first saw.
2012 was when it.
Was that when it first launched the video with what's his face?
11 or 12 was like the Kickstarter year. I forget exactly what it is.
It's very moody, like Blade Runner.
Yeah, I mean, it's very like hard sci-fi.
Oh, if this game
Star
comes
Citizen
out, I'm
thing.
gonna play the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
for sure. And if there's enough in the alpha, like if I watch you play it and I feel like I can have like I have no problem investing in a game in its early stages.
Yeah,
like
and I kind of wanted to do it for research, right?
Yeah,
like, I'm at a place in my life where I can put 60 down and be like, at least for an experience like this, if that gets me involved and gets me like access to whatever else the game brings, I'm in. I'll see what it does, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like there's a few early access games that I've been watching a lot of on Twitch, specifically because some of the streamers that I've been watching that I have no problem investing in.
Yeah.
You know, like I think a well designed game that's not ready for launch yet, I can deal with that if by supporting them by buying it in early access helps finish it.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if other people are actively playing it. It's not like I'm buying like some, you know, like Carrot used to make fun of, the Urban Carrot used to make fun of Twitch, was it Greenlight or Twitch? Steam Greenlight, excuse me, not Twitch. And how there used to be hot garbage in there. But like, yeah, like some random posting of some game that no one's even playing. But like if a top streamer is playing this game on Twitch and has backed it, I think the game's going to end up being completed, you know? Yeah. So like there's a few that I've watched. So yeah, I mean like if this experience is well designed enough, I don't care if the game takes another 2 years to come out. Right, because I probably would end up buying it then anyway. So
exactly.
So yeah, I'm excited for you to get into it and stream it so we can check it out.
I'll be updating you guys for sure. I'll be streaming it. I'm trying to find right now. They put a trailer out that I found on their website, because remember I was watching all the little car shits. And it was like a cinematic trailer. There was like some like disaster in space. I'll find it later and I'll send it out. I'll post it somewhere so you guys can see. But I recommend you guys, especially listening out there, go to the website for Star Citizen. I think might be rsi.com, Robert Space Industries, whatever it is. They just really good cinematic way of selling the game, because like the things that happen to this character kind of are like hidden mechanic based things. Like they're showing you it happened to him, but the implication is this will be you. You could have like, he gets blasted out of a ship in space and literally falls onto the planet in the debris, and you see like just this full transition as he falls like in the middle of the wreckage and like survives because of his like protective suit, and gets up and like looks around and finds his shit. Very like epic and dramatic. Like fuck, this could happen in games now. So they play the cards right. Could be an incredible experience.
You used a term earlier that interests me. You said hard sci-fi.
Hard sci-fi, yes.
I never heard that.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
I heard it first.
No, like so you're.
I don't read a lot of sci-fi.
You're
fiction.
watching a hard sci-fi show right now.
I know I am.
Right, so that's exactly what he's talking about. Like altered. You're watching Altered Carbon, right?
Yes, I am.
Netflix series. Hard fucking sci-fi.
Hard and quite twisted.
Well, that's
you could make the argument that Star Trek in like 70s content. Star Trek is hard sci-fi, right? And then Star Wars is just like the original series. I don't want to get people mad out there because they're gonna get fucking jumped down my throat. But like the idea of Star Wars was like this adventure, right? This like epic
fantasy
story
in
right?
space.
Star Trek is like you've got well defined, like the ship has its own mechanics, and people like buy books of schematics of how things are built, and there's like this in universe lore and descriptions and science, and that's all
Blade Runner.
Very based in physics. Yeah, it's stuff like that.
Like the fantasy aspect in sci-fi comes from a portion of the plot or story where it's just outside of the realm of possibility, but everything else falls under actual rules and laws of science. You know, like
rules and laws of that universe that need to be followed.
Yeah, but influenced by like physics and like
influenced
where things
by actual,
would probably go.
Right.
Well, like in Star Wars, the Force is pretty much,
magic
used all the time as a Deus Ex Machina to solve problems.
Yeah. It's not.
Whereas
not
that kind of shit doesn't happen in Star Trek.
Correct.
Yeah, it just won't.
I first heard the term watching Party Down. Have you guys ever seen that show?
Mm-mm.
It's a.
That's where you heard it.
It's a Star show.
Yeah,
about
it's a
a
great
bunch
show.
Of like caterers in
LA.
Adam Scott.
It's yes, I have.
Lizzie Kaplan. But one of Martin Starr is on it, and he's like a writer, and he's writing these like spec hard sci-fi scripts. Total fucking nerd, like real angry nerd who just yells his shit at people. Right. And just is unapologetically. Yeah, exactly. But he was just talking about one of his scripts one day. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Hard sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of sci-fi, are you up to date on the roadmap of Destiny 2?
Fairly up to date.
Would you mind? I mean, I have the document in front of me. I
have to pull it up just to see where they're
where
their bumps are.
Still very upsetting to the community, but Destiny 2 has released on the 31st of January, so about 2 weeks ago at this point, a week ago, they released their development roadmap for their 1.1.2, 1.1.3, 1.1.4, and then 1.2.0 releases of the game. Now that is slated for the next big update February 27th, then March 27th, and then May. With small tweaks to certain things within each side of these updates.
I think people got not upset, but they were just kind of like responded lacklusterly to this because no information here was new. What it did was it gave everything they've said they were going to do a structure
and a timeline.
But nothing here was a revelation.
Right.
And I think people just want to know more.
Sure.
Releasing a roadmap, is that unprecedented?
This level of detail for Bungie is.
For Bungie, yes.
Right.
Bungie has never done this.
No, I was going to say, does the roadmap kind of correspond with the fact that now they're doing seasons and they're forced into it?
No, this is a direct feedback from the game being a failure to its community and them trying to be transparent.
Things were changing to make it a better experience for you, the player.
This could have been their idea to update us in like the season's approach is the take that they're having on the game overall.
Yeah.
That was always part of it. And I think what they were originally planning on is things would change as the seasons change and we would just deal with the changes as they happen. But people didn't even get to season 2 before they ran out of content and before they got pissed off with the game. So they kind of had to course correct this. I mean, like think about it, like 2 months in, I was done with the game. You know, like I put, how long did we play Destiny 1?
You were like, I so want PUBG.
I like what 1,000+ hours into Destiny 1. Like I was done with D2 and 200. If that.
I mean, like from a development perspective, this is a pretty aggressive map.
It is
because like the 1.1.2, that's live, right? That's Masterworks Armor that came out I think like last week or the week before. A couple other things. Prometheus Lens finally became a viable gun again. But like the next milestone is February 27th. That's what, 2 weeks?
Yep.
2-3 weeks. And then it's March 27th after that.
A month later.
Including what's included in this is your bug testing. Yeah, right? You're making sure that all this shit works and that you're not breaking anything else. So like, I don't want to put it in this light, but like you got to do a lot of work and it could backfire. So like I think they're working incredibly hard, which is a testament to them wanting the game to be good. So it's goodwill.
Yeah, I think the problem is the things that they're opting to fix in the short term are things that the community doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the. I think that's where the frustration comes from. Is some of the more
like you look at February 27th and it's like Emblem Aura rework. Who gives a fuck? Why am I playing this game?
Oh, cool! The Nightfall scoring is going to have new tracking.
But why am I playing the
Why the
Nightfall?
fuck am I playing
Right.
the Nightfall? Right.
That's not the question they're answering.
Yeah, the PC can now have the public text chat. What the fuck? That's like
Yeah.
that's like a base thing in all fucking PC games.
What's crazy,
so
though,
it's just
dude,
like, you know,
a crazy update in March 27th, the Sandbox and Crucible updates, Iron
Yes.
Banner is going to be 6v6,
correct.
which is wild because they've leaned so hard on 4v4 for Destiny 2's entire existence.
Yeah,
All
but
their
Iron-
maps are built for 4v4.
You
Yeah,
play-
it's gonna be garbage.
yeah.
6v6 is not gonna be able to play well.
They can
on
only
44
play
map.
on Shores of Time.
Isn't that
Yeah.
how Iron Banner started in
Well,
Destiny
D1
1?
was 6v6,
Yes.
but they changed matchmaking to 4v4 completely in D2.
No, but you're saying going back to 6v6
They're bringing
is going to be a
6v.
problem?
Yeah, because they designed the Crucible in Destiny 2 entirely around a 4 versus 4 matchup. From
You're
like
at-
the weapon balancing, the map balancing.
You're adding 4 more players into the mix
Yeah.
on a map that was not designed for that. So unless in March 27th they're also releasing new maps and surprising us, that'd be cool. But like, all right, so for example, we are not getting weapon or ability sandbox changes until March 27th. March 27th, and they're finally going to update the sandbox for weapons. And the reason, like the biggest struggle that people still have is like your weapon system was not the failure in D1.
It wasn't.
Like,
Truly was
why
not.
did you rework the weapon system? Like, all of these things they're trying to, like, when I look at this, I look at them trying to course correct the problems that they face. And it's great. I appreciate them doing this. I appreciate their transparency. I appreciate them engaging on Reddit and on Twitter. But these are all things that they're trying to do because they don't want to say, we fucked up and the weapon system we created was not as good as what D1 was. And now they're creating all of these things to compensate for that, like Masterworks. Why is there a need for me to mod something to change its stats when the stats of a gun can just be unique and individualized on the drop? This thing wouldn't need to exist, but you're making it exist to like compensate for the failure of the weapon
some half
mechanic.
attempt at stat rerolling or randomized perks. on
Is
your
it possible
weapons.
that this is like an under the hood like problematic thing because they made the changes and it's hard to backtrack?
It would take a major reworking. Like if they were to completely redo the weapon design in D1 or in D2 to make it similar to D1, that's a huge update. I wouldn't expect them to just flip a switch. I would say, okay, if you tell me that in May I can expect the redesign of the loadout system, shit, you could tell me 6 months past that, but if I know it's coming, I know you're working on it.
Right.
But like this seems like they're trying to do everything but that to make us still want to play the game.
I'm just saying it might not fit in their development costs. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like
I mean,
they're like,
here's
"We
the
do
thing,
this,
though,
It's
man.
going to cost too much
Like,
money.
I don't know. I don't know how much their player base has dropped off, but it has to be significant. It has to be.
Everyone we know is not playing it primarily.
Primarily, like maybe hops in every once in a while. Trip hops in every once in a while. There's some others that I know that do.
Still need
like
a goddamn chess piece. Remember I posted on my Instagram that I got nothing but arms? Well, that's been all week this week too. Just like
yeah, don't you worry.
335
In May they're going to be working on the drop rates.
Oh, May,
probably
okay.
somewhere. I don't know. No, it's in here somewhere where they're going to be working on duplicates.
No, I know,
but yeah. Oh no, in February 27th, exotic repetition reduction.
yeah.
So you could expect that, and you know, like it's just like, listen, you had. I stopped in the D2 directory the other day, and the top 6 people, never fucking heard of them, like random people that have like 50 viewers. Like 50 viewers was like the 5th person playing D2
That's crazy.
In Twitch.
in Twitch.
Wow.
The top person was like 280, and it's like free trials runs. Who the fuck is playing trials anymore?
Yeah.
But someone's capitalizing on the loss of the giants that were in the Twitch directory. But like you
Yeah,
had
for
someone
sure.
like Goth and Broman and all these people like actively playing your game that have just bounced. And I think like I would hope that Bungie is bigger to say like, look, we designed this weapon system, we designed this all of these things because we thought it was going to be the evolution of Destiny, and it didn't work out, and this is what we're going to do to get back to what it was. But I don't know. We'll see.
So none of those guys, Goth and Broman and his brother and all
T-Rex.
those guys, none of them had any kind of like partnerships with Bungie to the extent where they're like obligated to put hours into those games.
No, a goth ripped them. So when the mod system, when Masterworks first came out, they actually got to go play a sample of it, and they live streamed it. And Goth tore them to pieces. This isn't enough. This is surface level bullshit.
I think Luke, you could do better was his direct quote.
Like this.
So like
is,
Luke Smith, the director of the game, just like
this is poor game design. Like we expect more from Bungie, and we expect more from this game. Like he was not like, oh, this looks great. Everybody, let's get back. And like he has the community and voice and the platform to do that if he wanted to, but that's not what he chose to do.
To Bungie's credit, they're going after that feedback and
they are,
and accepting it and working with it.
Like the fact that multi-emote and private matches aren't hitting D2 until May is absolutely absurd. Private matches existed in D1, and it's taking them a year and a half. When did the game come? September,
yeah.
So May
5th.
So not a year, but in May we're gonna get private matches. Excuse me, multi-emote. Like it's just like you're gonna tell me in May I'm gonna be able to equip multiple emotes. Like
here's some things we can use to temper this a little bit, right? Maybe they're shifting the emotes to make room for the better things, right?
Maybe
to shift around their priorities. But also 8 hours ago, Bungie posted their plans for Crimson Days, which is coming back in a week. Now, Crimson Days has mechanics and has gameplay styles that they didn't mention in their roadmap. So their roadmap is not an end-all, be-all
right
for an event map, which I was kind of surprised about, right? Because I think part of what people felt sad about was that, like, okay, so I get this roadmap and I see what's coming and nothing here is exciting, which means nothing else exciting is going to happen in Destiny 2. So people like saw that and were immediately just let down.
Yeah.
I was reading through the Crimson Days stuff today, and it seems actually like an engaging event. So it's 2v2 clash.
Right.
Is like the Crucible spin on the thing. They're bringing the Burning Shrine back.
Okay.
Called the Burnout.
Okay.
That'll be for Crimson Days. I don't know if it's going to be there after that, potentially. You can matchmake if you don't have somebody to roll with. All of the Crimson Days rewards are only gameplay earnable.
Well, that's good. Nothing's behind loot boxes.
You get Crimson Engrams and an Illuminated Engram when you level up.
Okay.
So you get the normal Season 2 reward. Consumable, bright engram thing. And you also get the Crimson Days at the same time.
Okay.
Nothing there, like I said, you can't buy Crimson Days, but you can spend Bright Dust on specific Crimson Days things that
are in the store.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are milestones you can complete, and you'll get like ghost shells, exotic sparrows, and some weapon colorings specifically. So like it's not a lot. This is not game changing, but I think this has more goodwill in it than the timeline does.
I would agree,
because they could have capitalized on like one of the new exotic emotes is a player drawing a heart. People would spend money on that.
That's pretty
people
cool.
out there that would for sure want that.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
That is only gameplay attainable.
That's cool. Now, tell me a little bit more, because I've been itching to start a character on PC, just to hop in and experience the game on PC.
Yeah.
Is any of this level locked? Is this like what's going on?
I'm
with
really
it?
glad you asked that question.
Yeah, what's going on with it?
So let me just read this blurb right here. No matter what activity you play in Destiny 2 during Crimson Days, every player will receive both an Illuminated Engram and Crimson Engram, we were chatting about. They're not capped or limited. You don't earn a certain amount and don't get any more. To qualify, you need only to reach the level cap for your Guardian, and then in parentheses they go, that's 25 if you've acquired Expansion 1, 20 if you haven't.
Right. So you can
participate without owning Curse of Osiris.
Which is what I wanted to know, because I don't plan on endorsing them for Curse of Osiris on PC till I know the game is complete. So if I can play vanilla Destiny 2, which I got for free with my graphics card, I'll play it to level 25, experience the story yet again, but on PC, and then maybe try out the Crimson Days and see what it has to offer.
That, another thing they learned from. So they're not blocking their content, which was just, I feel like it was an oversight. I don't think they did it maliciously, but like Not a good move. Not a good step. Made people real fucking mad out there.
Yeah.
So they're doing things, and this was very encouraging. After the roadmap was kind of like just it fell flat. It didn't feel good.
It did. It felt great, and then like, oh shit, we're getting the map, and then we got the map, and we're like, it's not leading us to the treasure.
Yeah,
this map sucks.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, so the last thing, which we don't have to go into too much detail about it, but Dr. Disrespect has returned to Twitch. His first day back was Monday. I know I'm a huge fan of Dr. Disrespect. I've watched his streams. I was not for a long time. It took me a while to get to like his character. You look like you're ready to say something.
No, I was just going to say, I had said to you off stream, I was just going to say it like talking or whatever. What we're doing here.
Conversation.
I had said to you, it seems like Dr. Disrespect is a fan or was a fan of the WWE. Did you actually confirm that you had heard somewhere that he was?
No. I mean,
somebody had said that.
I don't know if that's a confirmed fact, but like every single aspect of his character is informed by a promo cutting, shit talking, just bravado wrestler. I mean,
just seems like it. Yeah,
maybe not, but like that's what that environment is, and he fits right into that.
So his he is now the number one. I'm going to get the exact number because I don't want to give off the wrong number. Hold on.
Give off the elaborate.
There was he hit a record for the concurrent viewers in one single stream. I think he's the number one setter for that.
He is. As of 5 p.m. on 2/6, Twitch has told Kotaku that Dr. Disrespect now holds the record for most concurrent viewers of a single stream, with over 388,000 people watching him.
Wow.
Now, his peak I saw was 450,000, but he maintained concurrent viewers of 388,000 people.
When I hopped in, it
him.
was like, what was it, like 280, something like that? Like it was still pretty close.
His first day, he streamed for like 10 to 12 hours because he went live early afternoon, Eastern time, 1 p.m. I think was his live was when he went live, and I got home and was ready to play PUBG at like 9 or 10, and this dude's still playing with like. At that point, he had like 100,000, but he still had 100,000 people like watching him.
Does he rotate through like breaks or anything?
He eats on fucking stream. He doesn't care. Like this dude was shoveling food into his mouth on stream, not giving a fuck. So I don't know if he
does get up to walk around, but he plays that into his stream. Have you ever seen his actual setup?
Yeah, he goes to like this like special training room or
He's
whatever.
Got a bigger green screen in front of his desk that is just all green, like a studio, for a full body camera, and he inserts himself into different backgrounds. It looks like he's in like, well, it used to be the Slick Daddy Club, now it's the Champions Club.
Yep.
In the locker room. Today I saw like a new one. I saw it was like some pink like nightclub that's only for Champion Club members. Dude, it's so good too because like there not only is it him, and there are obviously like depth layers to make it look like he's really where he is, but one of those depth layers was like a pink window. And you could see him transparently through the pink window layer of the overlay. Like, there's really good work being put into this, really high production value.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him once on like a balcony, like on this like city, just like really far away. He makes himself really tiny, but it's still like full body. Like the dude he's good. He's good at the video shit for sure.
He made. There's not an actual donation number, but I saw in the hour that I watched when I got home. In just 3 donations, it was $3,000. Then someone donated $3,001 to have Top D, and then someone donated $5,000. That has nothing to do with his. He didn't even say the name. Like most people will say the name, like yada yada subscribed. He just has the logo pop up in different colors depending on the tier you subscribe. Yeah. The logo did not stop. It's
constantly going.
All day, someone was subscribing to him every minute. So he had that going, and then people were donating 50, 100, 500, $3, $2. I would, if I'm to make a safe assumption, he probably made about 50 to 60K in donations in that one stream, in his 10 to 12 hour stream, just off of donations.
Yeah, I'd love to just have some like computer algorithm go through, tally it all up, and be like, here was the sub amount that he got, just value from that one day.
I wish I I wish I knew. But he knows what he's doing, man. You know, naming it the face of Twitch.
He titled his stream "The Face of Twitch."
That was the name of his stream. Was the face of Twitch, attacking other top streamers. Like he fucking gets it, man. He knows his audience. He knows what people want to watch, and he's playing the part. You know, this is not who this person is as an individual, because plenty of people have met him and talk about him as, you know, who he is in real life. But he gets it, dude, and people are eating this shit up, man. Oh my god, eating it up. So I mean, I watched it. I mean, he's super fucking entertaining. Like I almost didn't play any games that night because I just didn't want to stop watching him.
Right.
So
people love an antagonist. It's funny.
Yeah, I think they do. And like he's
also really good at the game, so
he is
helps.
good.
And all his bullshit that he spits out, he backs up.
Yeah, that's just a baseline.
He won the first game. His first game. First game back.
Back to what?
PUBG. His first game on stream back.
Chicken dinner.
He got a chicken dinner, and that led him to a super high donation, I believe, of like 3 or 4K. But the first game he won when he got back, and he fucking lost.
Do you think that's a part of the act?
How he's greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a part of the act?
What do you mean?
Like the 3 people or whatever on the other team that he played against were people set up to.
You can't do that.
Fall?
There's no way to do that.
No? Because it's all random.
Yeah, I mean, there's no lobbying system.
He's not playing on like a private server.
There are no private servers.
That doesn't exist.
Well, there are custom servers, but you have to you can't hit go into the public. Like someone would see you joining the private server. There's no way not to see you joining a private server.
Got it. I was just trying to understand.
No, yeah, I got you. And he mentions it the whole time. He's like, because apparently like a loot crate that drops from the sky randomly that has really good weapons and gear, like landed right in front of him as he's running. And he's like, I promise you, this is not a fucking, like, this is not, you know, some like set game. This is actually happening. But yeah, he got a chicken dinner. But yeah, so nothing was really discussed. He was all in character when people asked him about his wife. Like he didn't divulge any real information about what happened with his wife. What's funny is I was doing a little bit more research I actually follow by happenstance the girl that he apparently cheated on with his wife. She's a DJ. She does a DJ stream, and she also streams like party games. Her name's Cray Sounds.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because I read it in an article and I was like, I think I follow that person. I looked at my Twitch follows and
it was there.
And she was there. Shit. Yeah. Now this is all fucking speculation.
Sure.
People are like, all talking about it, but yeah, he didn't really go into any detail about it. I'm sure he was getting bombarded with questions about it.
And then anyone who gets peripherally mentioned is going to get bombarded too. You know, like I'm sure she was.
We should probably.
I think she stopped streaming.
Yeah, because like involvement or not, the minute someone attaches your name, everyone's gonna fucking be like, "What's the deal?"
So
the story.
The reason when I heard about that, I went and looked at her channel. Her last VOD is from December.
Oh shit! Yeah,
like
probably right around
2
the time.
weeks into December was her last VOD. So I don't think she's streaming on Twitch right now. I don't think she has been because I'm sure she was getting bombarded with. But he got rid of all actual human moderators.
I read that too.
No moderators that are humans because a lot of them turned on him and started spewing in rumors and garbage because they were his mods. So he runs only night bots and bots as his moderators. And he said that maybe one day people will be let back in as mods, but he's not running those. He got rid of all of them.
What did all those people do?
They started gossiping and sharing information about him.
Oh, like his real information behind the character?
Yeah.
Oh, like that kind of stuff.
Like gossiping about him cheating on his wife. So a fucking bot isn't going to do that. And the bot is actually way better than a human moderator ever could be. You know, there's just no interaction. But,
right.
You know, he doesn't need mods interacting. He's doing plenty of fucking interaction on his own by being the person that he is. So yeah, I'm excited to continue watching him. I'm glad he's back.
I like that he like innovated his stream a little bit too. He has new transitions, new logos, stuff like that.
Yeah. I do like the Champions Club. I like the change to that. I do like the Night Club, the Champions Club. Like,
sure.
You know, he's talking about, I got my little mini Turtle Beach, like models on the tables.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking funny, dude. He's
Grab a
so
G Fuel.
fucking funny. Yeah.
Sit down.
I know
shut up.
I know we were making the
Watch
joke
the game.
earlier off mic, but like him making fun of Summit and like the shit that comes out of this dude's mouth is like.
I was watching Shroud.
When
Lost
he was
his name
like,
a little bit.
Yeah, when he was fucking Shroud and Summit and dude. He referred to himself as like the 6'5" stallion one point, and I like nearly spit up my drink because I was just like so taken off back by like him referring to himself. Like it doesn't sound as funny with me saying it, but with his fucking wig on and like the fucking voice that he
And
has.
usually like these things are in the middle of some rant because of some other event, and you just like just going off, just improvising the whole thing, which is crazy.
All of it is improvising. It's crazy. It's all fucking off cuff. So yeah, I hope he continues to break milestones. I hope he continues to innovate for Twitch. He's definitely someone that's pushing that platform forward, which is great. So I'm excited. I'm excited that he's back, and I obviously 388,000 other people are also pretty excited.
Yeah.
So if any other news and any other drama comes about, we will report it to you. But I think at this point, I think we are done for this week's episode. So I'm going to bring it out. You can catch me on Twitter at Locke_key. If you follow me on there, you'll see me each time that I go live. I usually tweet it out, but my Twitch handle is now twitch.tv/LockeandKey, completely spelled out, LOCKEANDKEE. KEY, excuse me. I changed it from the bullshit underscores that were there previously. But follow me, drop me a follow on Twitch, drop me a follow on Twitter, and you'll know when I go live. I've been pretty much streaming almost every time I game at this point. I just turn it on, which is what I've been trying to do.
For sure.
See you next week.
Speaking of getting rid of bullshit underscores, as of today, I switched all of my shit over to altogether Trip Zero TV. I am Trip Zero TV everywhere. Instagram, Facebook.
I don't have to change anything, do I?
Twitch, Snapchat.
You just changed
YouTube.
names, right?
Yeah. So you're if you're following, you still follow. Don't worry about it. But like I'm so stoked about it. It's so much easier than underscores. Just bullshit.
I know. I looked for Lock and Key, and I looked for Locke on Twitter, and fucking Locke is some Scandinavian like political party person.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Trip Zero. What's Trip Zero? There's actually, I found a website. I think I mentioned this years ago on the podcast. It's a website where you can plan a trip for yourself with zero carbon emissions.
Yes,
remember that?
I remember that.
Locke, you might have some money coming to you because the Lock and Key comic book TV adaptation is coming out.
Is it now?
Yeah, and if Twitch takes off, maybe they're going to want to, have Lock and Key.
They're going to want the Twitch
channel, yeah, for marketing purposes.
It's already here, baby. I own it.
You already got it. Took it.
But yes, everything going forward at Trip Zero TV.
That's awesome. That's good. It makes it way easier to
solidify the
find
branding.
you.
Been listening to the Broman podcast. Got super inspired every day.
Yeah, I had to stop listening to the one episode that I was listening to because the people that he was interviewing were such
There's some
Jobins.
some gems on
Jobins.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that.
It's okay. There are a bunch of yeah. Anyway, go do your thing.
Before I go out,
yeah,
you said two terms again that I'm still completely confused on. You said sweaty, and then you said what was the other thing? Tryhards.
Okay,
I said sweaty and tryhards.
I said those today.
Yeah, in when you were referring to like something. PUBG players.
They're similar. They're very, very similar.
They're essentially the same
Today,
thing.
I heard tryhards in a positive way spoken by somebody who was in my actual chat in my stream when I was live. He said he's proudly, well, he said it with pride, but like he spoke proudly of him being a tryhard in GTA.
Okay.
But you spoke it in a negative connotation. It seems to flip quite frequently.
Someone can be proud of being a tryhard, but you're still kind of shitty to be a tryhard. Like it's a game. Calm down.
Being a tryhard is shitty. Trying hard at something.
You're spinning. You're being a wordsmith right now.
Trying to learn.
You're muddling.
Yeah.
You're muddling it. Trying hard at a game is not what a tryhard is.
Yeah, like I don't try hard, right?
No.
Good. Thank you.
A tryhard is one. So one could say that I was a tryhard in Halo 2.
Oh, you were?
Right? Like I took advantage.
You never said it with pride.
I didn't need to.
You didn't need to. Then that means you're not a tryhard, because it sounds like a tryhard is somebody that goes to try really hard and doesn't really succeed.
You can't use the definition of the word in the definition
I
of the
don't know
word.
what I'm doing.
You got to listen. You're not listening.
I'm listening.
A tryhard is one that takes advantage of their skill in an effort to make other people feel worse about themselves, either by their skill, by so the people with the jets are tryhards in GTA.
They don't have skill. They just bought a goddamn jet.
They're tryhards. They're
Got it.
griefing. It's all the same shit, dude.
Okay.
Griefing, tryhards, being sweaty, all of it is the same shit.
Being sweaty.
Like someone is like
It's elusive.
physically sweating because they're trying so hard.
Oh,
at the game.
you're giving me a visual. I never had the visual.
Yeah, like you're fucking, you're in it, you're grinding, you're getting really mad and angry if you lose, like you're getting kills, you're
That
like
sounds
teabagging,
like-
that's like a sweaty.
It's all griefing. It
Yeah.
all falls under griefing.
Okay. I'm the total opposite of that. Thank you.
Correct. You are none of those things.
Okay. Well, this has been Felix Hergood. And you can catch me twitch.tv/Felix Hergood or mixer.com/Felix Hergood. I go live to both of them. Currently, right now, I'm mostly streaming Ghost Recon Wildlands, Breath of the Wild, which made me want to throw my controller the other day. But I still love it.
puzzles, man.
Puzzles.
Proud of you.
Puzzles. And then maybe Bloodborne, but mostly Assassin's Creed Origins with no HUD.
Word.
Nice. All right. We'll see you next week.
Eagles are Super Bowl motherfucking champs. Wanted to throw that out there.
Fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
Super Bowl win for the Philadelphia
First time
podcast, Emergent
fucking
Gamer
ever.
Podcast. Yeah. We won the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl win for the podcast. We did it.
We were there.
fucking did it.
No, that's what they say. It's like we all were there.
We were there.
You know?
We did it. Our city did it. Fucking proud of shit.
People say they're fair weather fans of sports. I am a hibernating fan.
Yeah.
I came out of hibernation and watched the entire game
It's all right, man.
from minute one
It's a
to the
great
end. Yeah.
It's a great season.
Super dope.
Did you see the dude on Twitter that tweeted out he got the Madden playbook of the flea flicker tattooed on his
did he?
forearm?
Oh, yeah.
The Philly special play.
Yeah.
Because they did it. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That is so I remember all the way back to 2005 when I used to play the 2005 version of Madden, that was a play in the playbook for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's this trick play, and you always, whenever you attempt to try and do it, like the other person you're playing against would be like, dude, no one ever does that. Why are you doing that? Dude, why are you doing that? And you would attempt to do it, and they're like, you're an idiot. It's never going to work. And
Right.
It totally fucking worked.
So you got it. Twitter lost it because it actually is a really cool tattoo because it's just a bunch of circles and fucking lines going all
Yeah.
over the place essentially, but it looks pretty cool.
It's-
But yeah, Super Bowl champs, man.
It's wild, man. I mean, they played like they didn't give a fuck, and they didn't, and we won.
Yeah.
It was like a game of Madden in real life.
Yeah, it was really like a
That
game of
specific
Madden.
play
Such
was
a nail
was
biter, dude.
They snapped the ball to a drafted rookie, free agent running back, tossed it to the third string tight end, and threw it to the backup quarterback who ran it for a touchdown.
It's literally like
Shit's
the
fucking
fucking
nuts, dude.
You ever see the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like literally The Replacements happened.
Yeah, that one, or years before that, it was Necessary Roughness.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one? Yeah, Scott Bakula was in that.
Well, shout out to Eagles. Shout out to Philadelphia. 3 million people are going to be in the city tomorrow.
Whew.
Oh, breaking it. Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the
I'm not
parade.
going to be anywhere near there.
Oh, I'll be down there.
I probably won't be there
I
either.
ain't going anywhere near that fucking place. Jesus.
That makes me anxious just thinking
I'll be
about it.
blacked
Yeah.
out by 6 a.m, so I'll see you guys next fucking week.
Oh, you're going to black out tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Bottle of champagne for breakfast.
Do it.
I'm doing it for the city. I have to.
Well,
Right.
I'm glad we
Doing
did
it
the
for you
podcast.
guys.
Thank you for doing it for us.
I'm glad we recorded the podcast
It's the least I
tonight.
can do. It's
Yeah.
the least I can do.
Appreciate that.
Glad we recorded the podcast tonight.
It's a service. Yeah. Service hours.
Later.
Later, guys.
Ain't nobody better than me! Nobody ever was! Nobody ever will be! This guy's got a sniper. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, first game of the day, first game of the year, and what do we do, ladies and gentlemen? When you win a game like that, when you put on the display that I did, when you went on that journey, that adventure, A.K. Bomber, $5,000 donation? Are you kidding me?